Yes, it's me, a detective from Silent Detective Bureau. I am telling this story not because it contains sensation, and not because it carries a famous name. I am telling it because sometimes tragedy does not begin with a gunshot. It begins when a man crosses the limits of his own strength. This family's story did not begin with a crime. It began with accumulated tension, with unspoken words, with postponed decisions. Each participant believed they were in control, but control is an illusion when a crack already exists inside. Sometimes a person does not notice how balance slowly slips away. He continues to act, continues to decide, continues to believe he can manage, until one day he finds himself at a point he has already paid for. Henry Stone was a second-generation businessman. He grew up in an environment where power was seen as responsibility and influence as a tool. He was a tough politician, decisive, reserved. Henry Stone could make unpopular decisions without hesitation. He did not waver in business matters. He did not waver when protecting status. From the outside, he appeared strong, strong-willed, confident. But strength does not always mean flexibility. He was strong in negotiations, strong in strategy, but weak in conversation with his own daughter. And that weakness became the point where everything began to collapse. The tragedy of the Stone family did not begin with a gunshot. Martha Stone's mother could not withstand the pressure. Public life, expectations, and emotional coldness inside the house slowly stripped her of support. When she took her own life, the house did not only lose a person, it lost balance. Henry Stone continued to maintain control. He believed order could replace loss, but Martha Stone was left alone with something that could not be structured. Her mother's death became the point after which nothing in that family was ever the same. And from that moment, the slow collapse began. And so the Stone family lost another member. First, Martha Stone's mother was gone. Now the fracture grew wider. The house still stood, but the family, as it once was, no longer existed. Edward Gray had worked in the Stone household for nearly 15 years. He knew Stone's family well. He had seen this family in different periods, in times of stability and in times of internal tension. Edward Gray treated his service seriously. For him, the job was not merely a contract. He believed in loyalty to those he served. He was balanced and restrained. He had an internal code which he considered binding for himself, regardless of circumstances. As Martha Stone grew older, it became harder to keep her within familiar boundaries. This was not a direct rebellion against Henry Stone. She was acting against herself. When Henry Stone cut off her access to money, he believed it would stop her decline. Instead, it had the opposite effect. Martha turned to contacts she had known during periods of reckless behavior. Debt became a tool of pressure. Her surname and status made her a convenient figure to be used. Over time, it became clear that Martha Stone was involved far deeper than she had expected. What began as private gambling and social appearances turned into serious financial exposure. She was losing amounts she could not repay. At first, she believed it was bad judgment or simple misfortune, but the losses followed a pattern that was too precise to ignore. The access granted to her, the credit extended without hesitation, the invitations that seemed exclusive, all of it was calculated. Each loss increased her dependency. Each advance tied her name more tightly to interests she did not control. By the time Martha Stone understood that the games were structured against her, the debt had already become leverage. It was Henry Stone's car that was targeted. He had refused to pay the debt connected to his daughter. For Henry Stone, it was a matter of principle. For others, it was a point of access. Martha Stone was shown what the game truly looked like. She was confronted with the rules she had never fully understood. The message was simple: protection is never permanent. And now she no longer had her father as a shield. Henry Stone had been her last external support. With him gone, the balance shifted completely. That is how the Stone dynasty ended. I was late. There are no simple villains in this story. There is a chain of decisions, each of which seemed justified at the moment it was made. Money and power create the illusion of control, but destruction rarely happens suddenly. It begins inside the house. The final point in this story was set by Edward Gray, a bodyguard who could no longer remain silent while watching Martha Stone's decline, and made his own decision. The most dangerous shots are heard long before the first gunshot.